Alright, guys, good evening, everyone. You're welcome in today's class. And in today's class, we'll be treating JavaScript data structure. We'll be treating data structure in JavaScript, right? So, you can do well to kindly find the course material that is attached to this video, right? So, now let's begin. When we talk about data structure, data structure in JavaScript can be considered as a type of data structure that stores and organizes data efficiently, right? So, and that makes it very easy to manipulate data, update data, store data, organize them, and so on and so forth in JavaScript, right? And we have some couple of them in JavaScript as we'll be talking about today. Are we together? So the first point I'll be talking about is array, right? An array in JavaScript are the sets of values, right, that are listed in an order manner or in an orderly way, right? And a very good example of that is a fruit. Let's have a variable that is called let fruit, right? And our fruit can be considered as, for instance, we have mango, right? That's one set of collection of that data. Then we have another one. Let's call it orange, right? And let's have pineapple, pineapple, right? And let's have banana, and let's stop it there, right? So, and now this is a set of datas that can be categorized as fruit, right? So we have organized this data now in an orderly manner, in an orderly way, which means that by the time we console log this guy now, the fruit, right, and we push, and there are methods that we have in this in data in data structure for array, right? We have push, we have shift, we have unshift, we have pop, and so on and so forth. You can find the materials that is attached to it which explains all of that in this in that is attached to this video, right? So by the time we console log this guy now and we push something, let's have a another fruit that is pushed to this to the set of that fruit. And what this does is that it will what? It will add another set of fruit to the list of the fruits that we have here. By the time we console log this fruit now, right? If you console log it like this now, I will try to let's say implement that in our HTML, right? By the time we quickly do that now, just hold on, let me quickly do that. So I import my JavaScript, then I have JavaScript, JavaScript, JavaScript data structure, which is array. By the time we launch this guy now, by the time we launch it, you will discover that everything is intact, right? And we inspect it, it will console log all of those information for us. It will console log all of those information for us. So that will be that about that for array, right? That will be all for that array. All right. Can you see now? Can you see that? It has added that apple to it because we use a method called push. We push that apple into the set of that array, which is the fruit. Now that everything is set, now I want to show you another method that we have, and the method is called unshift, right? This method actually add this grape to the beginning of the array, right? It will add this grape here at the front, as if you are having it this way, right? As if you are having it this way. It will add this grape like this because we added this array method, this unshift. It add it at the beginning of the array. So that's how it will look like by the time we add the unshift array method. Now let's talk about another method that we have, which is slice. What this slice does is that it add kiwi at the index 2 of the what? Of the array data, the list in the arrays, right? That means it's gonna add this kiwi at the index 2, and the index 2 is that, the zero index is grape, right? The first index, which is index 1, it will be mango, right? And the index 2 will be orange, and it will add this kiwi at that, this orange, it will add it to it. Do you get that? You can take your time to play around with the code as the material is attached to it. Then we have another method too, which is pop. What this pop does is that it removes the last element of the array. It removes this banana. Banana is the last in the array list. It's gonna remove that particular data, right? Then we also have another one called shift, right? We have another one called shift. So this particular method remove the first element of the array. As you can see, I've attached the method to the material. You can just go through it. So it's very, very easy, and that is and that I will stop there for now. As regards the array method, you can take your time to just play around with the code, and experiment with it. So now we'll be talking about another topic in data structure for JavaScript, and this topic is called an object, because earlier on what we treated before was array, and now we'll be talking about objects, right? And if you hear object, what does it mean? Object, object, object is a set of values, right? A possible set of values in keys and values that are in paired keys, that are in pairs, right? For instance, let my info, right? My info, my info be equals to color breaks. We have my name, and which my name, right? My name is Oluwatobiloba, Oluwatobiloba GP, right? So in your own case, you can just add your name. And meanwhile, it is not equal to, is, you know, double semicolon, right? Semicolon. So that's this is the key and this is the value, right? Now let me add another one. Let's say my age. My age, I had my age, which is 20. For instance, that's not my actual age, but I'm just using that as an example, right? Now I had my country, which my country is Nigeria, right? My country is Nigeria. As it is, I've added an object as a value that I saved in my variable. So anytime I'm accessing this variable now, I'm accessing the set of values or set of data that are inside that variable, and which is objects, right? This is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. They work in pairs, right? They work in pairs. Now, if I want to target the value of my info, let's assuming that I want to target that my name, which is Oluwatobiloba, right? GP. So if I want to console log that, I will say that I will type it like this, that console log my info dot my name, right? If I select it this way, it's gonna access the value that I have in that property, my name. And guess what? It's gonna console log, and which is what? Which is Oluwatobiloba GP, and that is the value that is there, right? So now let's assume I want to console log something else, right? And and let me console log something else. Now this my info, let's assume that I want to console log my my country, right? I'll say that my info dot my country, which is Nigeria. By the time I console log it this way, it's gonna assess that for me, and it's gonna bring out Nigeria, right? So that means for you to access this Nigeria, you need to target it with its key. And what is the key? My country. The key for the value 20 is my age. The key to the value Oluwatobiloba is my name. They work in pairs. Keys and values. Keys and value. Is that taken? And you can also modify the value of your array, your objects, which has to do with your keys and value, right? And let's assume that I want to update that my info dot age, my age, into something else. Let's say that I want to update it um to let's say 20 or 21. It was initially on 20. Now I want to update it to 21. So if I just say my info dot my age equals to 21, it's going to modify the value that I have for that particular key pair, which is my age. So anytime I'm console logging that now, it's going to update and modify the value. It's gonna modify that value from 20 to what, to 21. Now let's assume that I want to add another pairs of value. The I stopped the value to to what, to my country. Now I want to add my hobby, and my hobby is that I love to code and I love to instruct. Now that means that this my info, my hobby equals to, so technically what that does is that it will add it this way, as if I'm having my hobby like this, my hobby, right, as coding. That is technically what that we do. Is that taking this line of code is going to modify, is going to add a new property, my hobby, with the value coding to it, just the same way I just showed you now. That is how it's going to do that for us. Imaginarily it's adding it to it, but I'm going to remove it because this line 19 is doing that for us. Is that taking? So that's how to modify an object. That is how to modify an object. Don't forget, an object works with pairs of values. It works with keys and values, right? The keys, which is my name, my age, my country, those are my keys. To have access to the value Oluwatobiloba GP, the key is my name. And this 20 that you have, which is the integer, a value, right? To have access to it, the key is what? My age, right? And my country is the key to have access to the value of this, Nigeria, right? So thank you, and that will be all.